Imagine discovering a planet so strange that scientists cannot fit it into any category we already know. Not a rocky world like Earth, not a gas giant like Jupiter, not an ice giant like Neptune. Something different, a completely new kind of planet. But here is the weirdest part. If you could somehow fly down into its atmosphere, your nose might detect something horrifying, a smell like rotten eggs. A planet that does not just look alien, it stinks. And this discovery may change what scientists thought they knew about planets, atmospheres, and the strange worlds hiding across the galaxy. So what is this bizarre new planet? Why does it smell so bad? And could there be millions more like it? Let's dive in. Part 1. The universe is weirder than we expected. For a long time, humans thought planets were simple. There were rocky planets like Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Then there were gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn. And then there were icy worlds like Uranus and Neptune. That was our basic planet menu. But once scientists began discovering planets outside our solar system, everything changed. These alien worlds are called exoplanets, and they are much stranger than anything in our neighborhood. Some are so close to their stars that their surfaces may be covered in oceans of lava. Some are giant planets that orbit their stars in just a few days. Some may rain glass sideways. Some may have clouds made of metal. And now, scientists believe they have found something even more unusual. A planet that may belong to an entirely new class. A world with an atmosphere unlike anything we have seen before. And one of the chemical clues inside that atmosphere is something very familiar here on Earth. Hydrogen sulfide. That is the gas that gives rotten eggs their disgusting smell. So yes, this planet may literally stink. Part 2. How do you smell a planet from space? Now, obviously, scientists did not fly to this planet and take a sniff. So how can anyone say what an alien planet smells like? The answer is light. When a planet passes in front of its star, some of the star's light passes through the planet's atmosphere. Different chemicals absorb different colors of light. So by studying that light, scientists can figure out what gases are floating around the planet. It is almost like reading a barcode. Water vapor leaves one kind of signal, methane leaves another, carbon dioxide leaves another, and hydrogen sulfide leaves its own fingerprint too. So when scientists say a planet may smell like rotten eggs, they are not joking, they are using chemistry. The smell comes from the gases that may exist in the atmosphere, and hydrogen sulfide is one of the nastiest smelling gases known on Earth. You can smell it near hot springs, volcanoes, sewage, and decaying organic matter. But on this alien planet, it might not be a small trace. It could be part of the planet's entire atmosphere. Imagine a world wrapped in clouds of heat, pressure, strange chemistry, and a rotten egg smell. Not exactly a vacation destination. Part 3. The new kind of planet. So what makes this planet so special? Scientists believe it may be part of a category sometimes described as a world between Earth and Neptune. These planets are bigger than Earth, but smaller than Neptune. That might sound simple, but here is the mystery. Our solar system does not have one. We have small rocky planets, then we have giant planets, but we do not have a planet in the middle. And yet, around other stars, these middle-sized planets appear to be extremely common. That means one of the most common types of planets in the galaxy is missing from our own solar system. Think about that. The universe may be full of planets that we never had a nearby example of. For years, scientists have debated what these worlds are actually like. Are they rocky super-Earths? Are they mini-Neptunes covered in thick gas? Are they water worlds with deep global oceans? Or are they something else entirely? This new discovery suggests that some of them may have atmospheres rich in unusual chemicals. They may not be simple rocky planets. They may not be normal gas planets. They may be a new kind of world, a strange in-between planet with extreme chemistry, and that is why this matters. Because the universe may have a much larger planet recipe book than we thought.
Part 4. Why the smell matters. At first, the stinky planet detail sounds funny, and honestly it is. A planet that smells like rotten eggs is exactly the kind of headline that makes people stop scrolling. But scientifically, that smell is a clue.
Hydrogen sulfide contains sulfur, and sulfur chemistry can tell scientists a lot about a planet's atmosphere, temperature, formation, and history. On Earth, sulfur is connected to volcanoes, deep-sea vents, and biological processes.
That does not mean this planet has life. In fact, it may be far too hot, too hostile, or too toxic. But it does mean the planet has complex chemistry. And complex chemistry is one of the things scientists look for when trying to understand whether worlds could ever support life. The big question is not just, does this planet stink? The real question is, what does that smell reveal? It could tell us how the planet formed. It could tell us what materials were present when it was born. It could tell us whether it migrated from another region of its star system.
And it could help scientists compare it to other planets across the galaxy. In science, even a disgusting smell can be valuable information.
Part 5. Would humans survive there? Now let's imagine just for a moment that you could travel to this planet. The first problem would not be the smell. The first problem would be survival. Depending on the planet's size and atmosphere, the gravity could be much stronger than Earth's. The pressure could be crushing. The temperature could be extreme. The air would almost certainly be unbreathable. And if hydrogen sulfide were present in high amounts, it could be deadly.
On Earth, hydrogen sulfide is toxic. At low levels, it smells like rotten eggs. At higher levels, it can damage your sense of smell, making it even more dangerous because you stop noticing it. At very high levels, it can kill quickly. So this is not a planet where humans would walk around with helmets, admiring the scenery. This is a world we study from far away, a cosmic laboratory, a place that teaches us what nature can build when conditions are completely different from Earth. And sometimes, what nature builds is terrifying.
Part 6. The bigger mystery. Here is where the story gets even more interesting. This planet may not be alone. If one strange world like this exists, there may be many more. Astronomers have already found thousands of exoplanets, but that is only a tiny fraction of what is out there.
Our galaxy alone may contain hundreds of billions of planets. Some may be Earth-like, some may be ocean worlds, some may be frozen wastelands, some may be gas giants, and some may be stinking, sulfur-rich alien planets that belong to categories we are only beginning to understand. The more we look, the more we realize something important. Our solar system is not the standard model. It is just one example. The universe is far more creative than we expected, and every strange discovery forces scientists to update the rulebook. A planet that once sounded impossible can become the key to understanding how common strange worlds really are. Part 7. Why this discovery went viral. This story exploded because it combines two things humans love: space and something weird. A new type of planet is already exciting, but a new type of planet that stinks is unforgettable. That is what makes science so powerful. It is not just equations and telescopes. It is mystery. It is surprise. It is the realization that reality is often stranger than fiction. Science headlines like this work because they make us ask questions. How can a planet smell? What would it look like? Could anything live there? Are there more planets like it? And the deeper you go, the more fascinating the story becomes. Because the stink is not the main discovery. The stink is the doorway. Behind it is a much bigger story about alien atmospheres, planet formation, and the hidden diversity of the universe.
Part 8. What this means for alien life. Whenever scientists study exoplanet atmospheres, one question always appears in the background. Could this help us find life? Now, to be clear, a stinky planet does not automatically mean aliens.
Hydrogen sulfide can be produced without life. Volcanoes, chemical reactions, and planetary processes can all create sulfur gases. But studying gases is one of the main ways scientists search for possible life on distant worlds.
On Earth, living organisms affect the atmosphere. Plants produce oxygen. Microbes produce methane. Life changes the chemistry of a planet. So when astronomers look at alien atmospheres, they are looking for patterns.
Not just one gas, not just one signal, but combinations that might suggest something unusual is happening. This stinky planet may not be habitable, but it helps scientists practice reading alien atmospheres, and that skill is essential.
Because one day, a telescope may detect an atmosphere around a smaller Earth-like planet. And in that atmosphere, scientists might find gases that are hard to explain without life. This discovery is one step toward that future.
Part 9. The future of planet hunting. The next generation of space science will not just find planets, it will study them in detail. For years, discovering an exoplanet was the big achievement. Now, scientists want to know what those planets are made of.
What is in their skies? Do they have clouds? Do they have storms? Do they have water? Do they have chemicals linked to life? Every new atmosphere studied adds another piece to the puzzle.
And strange planets are especially useful because they test our theories. A normal planet confirms what we already think. A weird planet forces us to learn something new. That is why this discovery matters.
It reminds us that the universe is not obligated to match our expectations. Planets can be hotter, colder, bigger, smaller, darker, brighter, stranger, and smellier than anything we imagined. And the more powerful our telescopes become, the more bizarre worlds we will find.
So, scientists may have discovered a completely new type of planet, a world larger than Earth, unlike the planets in our solar system, with an atmosphere full of strange chemistry. And yes, it may smell absolutely terrible. But behind the funny headline is something profound. This planet is a reminder that the universe is still full of surprises. We have only explored a tiny corner of space. We have only studied a small sample of worlds.
And already we are finding planets that challenge everything we thought we knew. Somewhere out there, orbiting distant stars, there may be worlds with oceans of lava, skies of metal, clouds of acid, and atmospheres that smell like rotten eggs.
The universe is not just vast, it is weird. And every strange planet brings us closer to understanding what is truly possible.
So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, one of those stars may have a planet orbiting it. A planet unlike anything in our solar system. A planet scientists are still trying to understand. And a planet you definitely would not want to smell. What do you think is scarier? A planet that smells like rotten eggs, or a planet where it rains molten glass? Comment your answer below. And for more incredible discoveries from the edge of science, subscribe to Infinite Science. The universe is stranger than we ever imagined.